Light it. 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 Light it.
The Triple Option is presented by Wendy's. Join Team Tendies and enjoy a lineup like never before. Crispy, juicy Tendies now at Wendy's. All right, welcome The Triple Option is back live this week with immediate reaction to the brand new college football playoff rankings that just came out. Some conversations about the ACC. Some new teams are now in the playoffs, and there has been a few subtle changes worth talking about. He's Urban Meyer. I'm Rob Stone, as always. Thanks for joining us. Please rate, subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as across social media at 3X Option Show. New episodes come your way every Wednesday on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. Fun new feature right now over on YouTube, Coach. When you like our videos, so when your grandkids are watching the Triple Option and they're taking the remote and they're flicking around, when they go to the thumbs up, you're going to see a little football animation. So tell the kids in the Meyer household, we want a lot of footballs with those thumbs up, liking the subscription, liking the show.
Duly noted. Good.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate that. We're going to be reacting live every Tuesday night once the rankings drop. Please leave your questions, leave your comments. We might respond to them live during this broadcast. On this week's episode of the Triple Option presented by Wendy's, we're going to talk with Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love. We're going to give our Heisman candidates and discuss Pat Narduzzi's unique take on this week's Pitt Notre Dame game. That's coming when the full episode drops tomorrow. But we begin our live broadcast with Any Given Saturday, and every Saturday takes on more and more importance as we get closer and closer to the final college football playoff ranking. Quick reminder, 12 teams make the playoff. 5 highest ranked conference champions get that automatic bid. And again, new this year, the top 4 seeds, regardless if they are a conference champion or not, will get a first round bye. Again, all those first round games hosted on campus. So, Coach, let's get right to the rankings right now. And no changes 1 through 5. Buckeyes, Hoosiers, Aggies, Tide, Bulldogs all remain in the same spot. BYU's loss at Texas Tech is the one thing that kind of changed things from spots 6 all the way down to 12. So you see Texas A&M getting that win. They go up 2 spots, Coach, to number 6. They are followed by Ole Miss, who went down 1 spot. Oregon hung on for dear life to get that win on the road at Iowa. They go from 9 to 8. The Irish move up a spot from 10 to 9, and Texas sitting there at number 10. Oklahoma, BYU, the 2 teams just on the outside. BYU falling 5 spots, Coach, due to that loss to Texas Tech. So there's a look at the top 12 right now. Right below that, by the way, Utah, the only other team that stayed put. So Utah was 13 last week. They're 13 this week as well. All right, so Coach, you look at this. Anything at all jump out to you? Anything worth noting in your eyes?
Every time I see the rankings come out, I guess I still got that coach mentality. Who cares? You know, you got to do what you got to do. And I remember we were counted out, and this is back in the BCS era when I was at Florida and we played Arkansas. And at halftime, I remember coming in at halftime and they said, USC just lost to UCLA. And we had no intention of us because, you know, UCLA was not going to beat USC, and they did. And that meant if we win the game, we're in the national, you know, one of the top 2 teams in the country. And then I remember the college football playoff, walking into the Big Ten championship game before the 14 playoff, and we're 6th. We're behind TCU and Baylor. And once again, no chance of going in. We just had a job to do, and that's go play the best we can. And we ended up jumping Baylor and TCU. So nothing's that surprising. Nothing changed at the top. I'm glad they're not penalizing people for wins. You know, if you would have bumped Indiana down, I would have been, that's not right. I mean, Penn State's got every good as talent as anybody on that screen right there. And same thing, you can say Oregon went on the road in a driving rainstorm and beat Iowa. You know, football people understand that. So I'm glad there was not penalty. Other than that, I mean, there's a lot of ball left. I'm a BYU guy now because of actually a Utah guy, but I really appreciate Coach Sataki at BYU.
Caught yourself there, didn't you?
Yeah, I used to not even say the letters BYU. But how do you not love that guy? How do you not love the way his team play? And they ran into a buzzsaw. I stood next to Texas Tech, and I sized them up. They're an SEC-looking team. They really are. They got the skill set. They got to keep their quarterback healthy. We saw that, but they're if they stay healthy, they're gonna swing at some SEC Big Ten schools.
Yeah, last week BYU, where were they? They were number 7, so they were in the bracket. They were matched up against Notre Dame. That loss in Lubbock bumps them out, but not a huge punishment. They're still able to lurk there. They did drop 5 spots. They've got a couple weeks to try and build themselves up, and we know this time of the year, some of those teams up top, something is going to happen to a couple of them, and they're going to slide down, and teams are going to rise on up. So the Big 12 still with an opportunity to get 2 programs in, but right now it's only one of them. Texas Tech up 2 spots to number 6, and then there's BYU.
Tell us again
at 12.
about the one automatic bid for the non-power.
So you want to talk the Power 6. So let's go to the bracket right now, because this is another conversation. So if we take a look at the bracket, Coach, there are 3 new teams in the bracket this week. Number 10, Texas. So as of now, Texas now in the playoff picture. Number 11, Miami. We've got a whole ACC conversation to come in just a second. And your Power 6 team this week, it is the University of South Florida. How about them Bulls? Remember last week it was Memphis there in that 12 spot. This week it's USF as that group of 6 team that is currently going through to the big dance.
And who did you say? You said James Madison has a shot.
James Madison is lurking. North Texas is lurking as well. Overall, if you take a look at the full top 25 rankings, SEC, they had 9 last week. They're down to 8. Big 10 has 6 overall. Big 12 now has 4. Your Cincinnati Bearcats coach made it. They are sitting at number 25 this week as well. And the ACC with 5 programs. Let's talk about the ACC real quick, Coach. Miami, right now, they're the ones slotted in to go to the tournament. They, however, are ranked 15th. So they went up 3 spots. They're at number 15. So that's good on Miami. What's not so good is the ACC standings. Miami's in 7th place. 7th place. What's left for Miami on their schedule? They host North Carolina State this week, and then they close, Coach, on the road at Virginia Tech and then at a Pittsburgh team that is up a couple spots and ranked number 22. Of course, Pittsburgh has Notre Dame. More on that on the triple option on Wednesday. So I look at this, Coach, and I say the ACC is looking like they now have a real chance to squeeze 2 programs in. As long as Miami takes care of business, they're in a position to be there. And then the ACC conference champion, which is looking like a Georgia Tech, a Virginia, a Pittsburgh, maybe even SMU or Duke, would be that second ACC team to get in there.
Yeah, I like the fact that ACC, I mean, it's as competitive league as any league in the conference right now. You got a log jam there. And I talked to Coach Narduzzi this morning, and they're getting ready to play Notre Dame. And I know we're going to talk about what he said, which
it's coming up tomorrow on the
I'm
triple
still telling
option.
you that was AI. He didn't say that.
You're going to have to watch
because he's the most
episode.
competitive maniac there is.
Oh,
but,
my God. So
I mean, what this means for the viewer and what this means most importantly for a bunch of players out there, you are still in this thing.
Yeah.
If you're an ACC football team, I can imagine every coach going up tomorrow and putting up a scenario on the grease board and saying, this is how and what. Okay, now erase it. Let's go out and play as hard as we can and let the chips fall where they may. So I wish I got to coach in this era where, there's part of breaks my heart because we had a couple teams, I think, that would have probably did very well if we would have had the playoff era back. In 2015, that Ohio State team that had 1 loss, I'm telling you, Mark, we went on and or Rob, we would have did some damage in the playoff.
Yeah, there's a Buckeye fan from Florida chiming in how happy he is to see the University of South Florida sitting in there. Listen, that program has gone through
great
a lot.
Coach, yeah, it's great.
Gone through a lot. They had a new stadium on the way. This is a team and a program, Coach, that I feel some of these conferences are going to start looking at hard, like the ACC and Big 12. When that next set of realignment comes around, USF is going to be one of those darlings out there that people are going to want to pick up. Big campus, a lot of students, and real investment now into athletics, sitting in a big market, the Tampa St. Pete area. I know you're not too
one
far
time they
away
were a
from
top
there.
5 program with Jim Levitt was their coach. They were number 2 in the country at one point.
Yeah.
And then they kind of fell off the edge of the table for a few years. But yeah, there's no reason why Now, you had the facility issue, no stadium. They got an excellent coach. That recruiting area within 3 hours of that school, you got everything you need, man.
Yeah.
And a passionate, the Florida fans are great.
Again, so 3 new teams to the 12-team bracket, Texas, Miami, and USF that we just talked about. A lot still to be played. And the ACC and the Big 12 both in play, Coach, still for 2 teams to get to the big dance. One of the talking points that we wanted to hit this week here is, and you touched on a little bit, that you were happy that in Oregon and in Indiana weren't dinged for tight games on the road in Big Ten play. And both of them were shoved into 2-minute drill type mode. And we were talking about this the other day. There's 2-minute drill. Yeah, it's easy to say, hey, there's the 2-minute drill, but there's really 3 2-minute drill scenarios.
There are. And what's amazing is there was 3 Big Ten teams, 2 that the rankings would have looked a lot different if they didn't execute at the most intense time and most important time of obviously the game. I'm doing a study right now for Big Noon Kickoff about the number of games that come down to that final drive. And as a viewer or listener, I just think it's really cool to explain what a 2-minute drive is. Yes, it's a 2-minute drive, but they're all different. There's 3 different styles of 2-minute drive. And there's variables that get involved. I don't want to get too deep in that, but the obvious one is need. What do you need? You need a touchdown, you need a field goal. If it's a field goal, what kind of kicker do you got? What yard line are you going to go to? I would always, regardless of my kicker, was a 25-yard line. And our quarterback and the offense knew it. The second thing is time. Obviously how much time you have left, that tells you how fast you have to go, and then how many timeouts you have. So there's 3 different styles of 2-minute play. And we saw Oregon do the first one against Iowa, and that's called tempo. Tempo, the catchphrase that I would always use with our players, if we're in tempo mode, do what we do, but do it fast. Yep. And let great players play great. That means don't have to get out of bounds. You catch a short ball, you do all you can do to let great players play great, do what we do, and get to the line of scrimmage and go fast. And that's exactly what Oregon did. Oregon took over with a minute 51 left, all 3 timeouts, and they were losing by 1. All they needed was a field goal. So that's not a panic situation, and I would grade it an A+. Dan Lanny didn't use his first timeout till 23 seconds left.
I was watching that. I was watching that saying, when are we going to burn this? Yeah.
Here's the other thing to think about, Rob, too, before we go on to number 2, is I counted it up through spring practice, summer, and training camp. You practice that probably 50 times before you have to execute it. So the first one is what? Tempo. The second one is fast, and that's what Indiana at Penn State. Again, a minute 51 left. They're down by 4, and they need to score a touchdown. But here's the wrinkle, no timeouts. So now it's in a fast mode. What's fast mode is? Get out of bounds and get first downs. As a coordinator was calling plays, and I watched it closely, they didn't call one pass of under 10 yards. Because if you catch the ball under 10 yards and don't get out of bounds, that clock's rolling. And, time is valuable, obviously. So the second one is fast. Go fast. They went down, executed perfectly, and scored a touchdown right at the end of the game to win the game. And then finally, the last one, and it's awful. It's hard. I've been in it a few times. It's called chunks, and that's where you're forcing the ball down the field. Penn State, after IU scored, it was 36 seconds left, minus 36-yard line, and they had to kick a field goal to tie. And only had 1 timeout, so that's where I would put my arm around the quarterback and say, listen, it's the only time I'm ever going to tell you this, but force this throw. Yeah. You're going to have to throw 50-50 balls. So quick review. First one is what? Tempo. You got time. Do what we do, but do it fast. Let great players be great players. Second scenario in a 2-minute drill is fast. What's that mean? No routes under 10 yards. First downs, get out of bounds. I'm coaching you like a player here, Rob.
This is why I'm smiling. I'm like, he's right back in his roots. He's a Professor Meyer.
And the third one is chunks. Chunks mean we're deep crossing routes, go balls. I'm going to tell the quarterback you're going to force a throw that any other time in your career you're not going to make other than the chunks situation. Force that ball. Can you remember a chunk scenario that paid off for you? Yeah, my first year at Ohio State, our quarterback is out. Kenny Guyton goes in. Braxton Miller's out. Kenny Guyton goes in. We have to drive the ball 60 yards in 30 seconds, no timeouts, and we're down by 8. and we hit a deep crossing route for 40 yards and went down and we scored. We scored, went for 2 with no time left. We scored 1 second left. Down by 8, we go for 2, we make it 2, we go to overtime and win. We beat Purdue in our first. That was the only time that I can remember we had a chunk situation that hit.
All right. How about your first? I see what you're wearing right now. I want to ask you about that. But how about your first one at Florida? Was it a tempo? Was it a fast? Was it a chunk?
Oh gosh.
I know. I'm pulling you deep. I'm just curious.
Yeah, too much CTE.
I know.
Yeah.
How about Tebow? Tebow, was he better at tempo, fast, or chunk?
Tebow's good at all the above. Chunk's hard, man. I mean,
chunk is hard.
That's I watched.
That's like not fair. I understand.
Yeah, Penn State had a backup quarterback. That's that's a situation. And keep in mind the other team on the other side of the ball know exactly what you're doing too. So they're playing deep.
Yep.
So.
Happy Veterans Day to you, by the way. I know that's a day very special to you, and you're wearing the little gator this week. All right, what for?
Isn't that sweet?
It does look
pretty good.
pretty
Jump
good.
man.
That's right there. It's
Michael
nice.
Jordan stuff back when I was there. So Scott Strickland, the athletic director, has invited Shelley and up for the Hall of Fame. It's our last stop. We did Ohio State against Penn State. We did Bowling Green in Eddie George's opener, and we did Utah when we were out there. So this is a Hall of Fame recognition. Shelley and I get to go up, and they brought a video camera down and kind of videoed the house, and then also just a interview with Shelley and I, and then the best thing is they brought a giant gym bag of Gator gear. So It's been 20 years since we were hired there. Hard to imagine. 2005.
2 decades.
20 years ago. So we get to go celebrate in the swamp, and
that's
hopefully
this
they
weekend?
get a win over Tennessee. No, the following week.
Following weekend. All right, which is we don't know where you're flying out of yet.
No, we don't know that yet.
That'll be an interesting one. All right, so the second college football playoff rankings are out. No changes at the top, but 3 new teams right now are dancing: Texas, Miami, and the University of South Florida. As always, we appreciate you joining us live on YouTube and wherever you find this. And the full release of the Triple Option presented by Wendy's comes your way tomorrow morning. Can't wait to hear Coach's reaction to Coach Narduzzi's doozy of a comment about
And
Pitt
fans,
and Notre
remember,
Dame this week.
a lot of ball left, Rob.
A lot of ball left, Coach. A lot of ball left, my friend.
Close the book now and go play the game Saturday.
We'll see you Wednesday.